Welcome. Today, we're diving into some ancient wisdom that, believe it or not, has a ton to say about our modern communication problems. And I'm not just talking about with a higher power, but with the people we love, too. I mean, you know that feeling, right? That moment when you're trying to pray or maybe even just trying to tell someone how you really feel. And you just get tongue-tied, it's awkward, and it feels like the words just aren't there. Well, it turns out you are definitely not alone. And the solution might be the exact opposite of what you'd expect. So let's start with that first big one, prayer. Why is it so often a source of anxiety? For so many of us, the whole idea of talking to God just makes us feel, well, kind of awkward and totally out of our depth.
Do any of these hit home? I'm not good enough. I'll do it later once I've got my act together. Or my personal favorite, I just don't have the right words. We feel stuttery and uncomfortable because we've got this mistaken idea that prayer is some kind of performance, and we're afraid we're going to bomb the audition.
And this quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It completely flips the script. It tells us, point blank, that prayer isn't some activity reserved for good people who have everything figured out. It's actually something else entirely. Okay, so if prayer isn't for the perfect, then what is it for? Well, our guide here comes from a really interesting place, the Psalms. You can think of it as the Bible's own prayer book, and it offers this powerful, in-your-face argument against all of our polite expectations. The contrast is just striking. We think prayer is supposed to be polished, polite, proper. But the prayers in the Psalms, oh, they are earthy, they're rough, and they are incredibly raw. This isn't genteel poetry from some stuffy old book. We're talking about the passionate, messy, and sometimes furious cries of real-life human beings. This question just lands with such a punch. It really challenges us, right? We expect to read prayers from saints with halos, but what we actually find in the Psalms are people wrestling with doubt, rage, grief, you name it, and they are not afraid to get loud about it. So this brings us to a totally new definition. See, prayer isn't some advanced language you have to master. It's an elemental one. It's the way our words become truly honest, the tool that helps us get real, not the performance that proves we already are. And really, that's what it's all about. The Psalms give us a complete vocabulary for the entire human experience, the good, the bad, and the very, very ugly. They basically give us permission to bring our whole unfiltered selves to the table. But here's where it gets really interesting. This whole idea of raw, unfiltered honesty, it's not just for prayer. It has huge implications for our relationships with each other. In fact, this same kind of honesty turns out to be the secret ingredient for real, lasting love. And for this, we're going to turn to another ancient text, the Song of Songs. Just like the Psalms, it offers this radical, countercultural view on what it means to connect. Only this time, it's all about human love and intimacy. You know, our world just loves to split things into pieces, doesn't it? We get sold this idea of a holy love that pretends sex doesn't exist, or on the flip side, loveless sex that pretends commitment doesn't exist. The Song of Songs just rejects both of those ideas completely. It shouts about an integrated wholeness, celebrating committed love and explicit sexuality as two parts of the same beautiful thing. And when you actually look at it, it's undeniable. The poetry is absolutely beautiful. And yep, it is very sexually explicit. But all of that is in service of this bigger idea, that we were made for this integrated union of the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. It's all about joy and a deep sense of mutuality. So how can one little book hold so much? Well, a great way to think about it is like a prism. You have this one single reality, passionate, honest love that shines into it. And what comes out the other side is this whole spectrum of meaning, all these beautiful colors. So on one level, sure, it's a celebration of marriage and intimacy. But that same passionate language is also seen as a metaphor for God's incredible love for his people. And for Christians, it goes even deeper, reflecting Christ's love for the church. It's the same language of intimate honesty, just working on all these different levels of connection. So what happens when we put these two big ideas together? We've got the raw, honest language from the Psalms, and we've got the integrated, whole love from the Song of Songs. The real magic happens right where those two ideas connect. This is what ties it all up. That practice of being brutally honest in prayer, it isn't just about prayer. It's actually the training ground for becoming a whole person. It's how we learn to stop pretending and finally start being real.
And that right there is the big takeaway. Whether we're talking to God or to the person we love most in the world, the goal is exactly the same. It's not about performance, it's not about being perfect, it's about authentic connection. And that is only possible through raw, detailed, and yes, sometimes pretty messy honesty.
So I want to leave you with this final thought today. What if we've had it all backwards? What if those stuttery, clumsy, raw words we're all so scared of are actually the most powerful words we have? What if they're the very things that unlock the deep connection we're all looking for? It's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.